An American hospital bill lands on the kitchen table. Itemized, 1 aspirin, $25. 6 liters of salt water, $546, on bags that cost the hospital $5.16. 2 days of line items priced like that, and the total clears $40,000. And the strangest fact in American money: almost nobody is expected to pay that number. Not the insurer, not the government, often not even you. Which leaves an odd question on the table. If nobody pays it, who is the number for? Start where the bill starts. In every U.S. hospital's computers lives a master price list. The chargemaster, a sticker price for every pill, hour, and stitch, tens of thousands of entries, confidential for decades. No market shaped those numbers. Hospitals set them internally and nudge them up annually, never expecting to defend them, because nobody with a negotiator pays them. Watch what happens to that $40,000. The insurer doesn't glance at it and pay. It holds a contract with the hospital, rates agreed in advance for every procedure. The bill says $40,000. The contracted rate for that stay might be $11,000, and the insurer pays its share of that. Your deductible applies to that. Government programs pay their own administered rates. Lower still. The $500 saltwater dissolves on contact with anyone holding a contract. So who gets billed the full sticker price? The one party with no contract and no negotiator, the uninsured patient. Federal tax rules now cap this at nonprofit hospitals. A patient who qualifies for financial assistance can't be charged more than roughly what insured patients pay. But the machine's logic put the weakest payer at the highest price. So here's what the number actually is. The chargemaster price isn't a price. It's an opening position, a negotiation anchor. When the insurer boasts to employers, "We secured a 70% discount." 70% of what? Of the chargemaster. Inflate the sticker, and the same dollar payment becomes a more heroic-sounding discount. Both sides need the number to be fiction. The hospital anchors high, the insurer brags about the distance from the anchor, and the price floats free of the cost of anything. $40,000 wasn't addressed to you. You just received a stage prop, a number performing in a play between two corporations, printed on paper that reached your kitchen. That's the design. And the tell. Identical procedures carry wildly different prices in the same city, and different negotiated rates inside the same hospital depending on whose contract applies. One operating room, one procedure, 5 prices. A real market can't do that. Then someone turned the lights on. In 2021, a federal price transparency rule forced U.S. hospitals to publish their standard charges. Negotiated rates included in machine-readable files. Researchers dove into the files, and the theater is now on the record. Across the 70 services the government told hospitals to publish, the cash price a walk-in pays is at or below the median insurer negotiated price about 47% of the time. Your insurer's discount losing to a stranger with a checkbook in nearly half of everything measured. Compliance came slowly. Audits still find hospitals burying the files. But the sticker was never the price. There isn't one price. There's a price per relationship. And here's the tell that not even the government believes the number. Nonprofit hospitals, most of the industry, keep their tax exemptions partly by reporting how much charity care they provide. You'd expect a forgiven bill to be valued at the sticker. Write off that $40,000 stay. Report $40,000 of generosity. They are not allowed to. The IRS makes them convert charges into actual cost first, and it publishes a worksheet for it. A ratio of patient care cost to charges, because a forgiven chargemaster bill would measure nothing at all. Think about that for a second. The tax authority wrote a form whose entire purpose is to undo the price list. The list has one more job, and it's the reason it resists reform from inside. It's the hospital's ceiling. Every negotiation starts there, so no negotiated rate can ever exceed it, which means the safest move every year is to raise it. Not because costs rose, because a higher ceiling makes every deal underneath look better and nobody in the building pays it anyway, and the measurements show where that ends up. The average American hospital charges around 3.5 times what the care actually costs it, and in a study of the 50 most extreme, the markup ran to about 10 times cost. A price no one pays is the easiest price in the world to raise. Now the bridge across the ocean. In most of Europe, this machine doesn't exist at the patient's level. Administered or negotiated rates replace the private sticker price theater. In Germany, the billing machine starts with the case, not a price sticker on each aspirin. Diagnosis, severity, and procedures feed a DRG, whose weight is multiplied by a statewide base rate. Same saline, different theater. The wildest part isn't that America's number is high. It's that America's number is unmoored. A figure with no owner, no cost basis, and no expectation of being paid. Back to the kitchen table. $40,000, $500 salt water. You can read the document now. Not an invoice, but the opening line of a negotiation you were never invited to, priced from a list written for an insurer's eyes. The hospital bill isn't a price tag. It's a script, and you were handed the villain's copy by mistake. So if nobody pays the sticker, what is the real price of a night in an American hospital? Genuinely, nobody can answer that. That's the point. Next time, you hand a casino $200 real. It hands you discs of clay, and you say thank you. Behind that trade is a private bank printing its own currency in a building with no clocks. That's next.